Welcome to the Oshkosh Area School District Board of Education meeting for Wednesday, November 20th, 2013 at 6 p.m. Has this meeting been properly noticed?
Yes, it has.
Please call the roll.
Tito?
Here.
Eliason?
Here.
Garner?
Here.
Herzog?
Here.
Lemberger?
Here.
Saginaw?
Here.
Weedham?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Next, we have our Pledge of Allegiance, and to assist us this evening, we have Abby Cumbier and Jack Wagner from South Park Middle School. Please stand and follow them in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much for joining us, leading us in the pledge singing, and I'd like to stand for your time. I also generally make it known that this meeting can be long and rather cumbersome, and you're not required to stay.
See you later.
All right. Board administrative reports. The president's report. I have no action items to report. I will turn to the superintendent.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. The superintendent's good news report for November 20th, 2013. We've got a raft of activities that have gone on in the past couple of weeks. The Oshkosh West Bands celebrate Halloween on Halloween, October 31st. The West Bands were featured in a live segment on the Local 5 live show, showcasing the Halloween Spectacular. There are available and will be on our websites, but not on this one, two video segments that were saved from that event that you can retrieve and enjoy portions of both interview and concert being done live from West High School on the morning of Halloween. So congratulations for a nice public relations gesture and to be featured on television at mid-morning. South Park Middle School students participated in an Honors Band Festival at St. Norbert's College. Brandy Grundy, alto saxophone, Rye Brewer, percussion, Casey Bravener, alto sax, Caitlin Grzinski, clarinet, Nathan Arnold, Barry sax, and from Merrill Middle School were selected for middle level honors at the band festival at St. Norbert's College. The students were carefully chosen from hundreds of applicants throughout northern Wisconsin and upper peninsula of Michigan. The honor band consisted of 120 students who performed on Saturday, November 2nd at 2013 at the Walter Theater at St. Norbert's College. They are pictured with Merrill Middle School band director Charles Bauer. The Oshkosh West Student Academic All-Star honorees for girls golf season, the Golf Coaches Association of Wisconsin is pleased to announce that Haley Olkowitz of Oshkosh West High School is an academic all-star honoree in the golf season that was just concluded. Students are nominated by the GCAW, the Coaches Association, in the where they meet this criteria: cumulative grade point average of 3.25. Participation in at least 75% of the students of the team's varsity matches, and at least a sophomore in high school. Haley is a student athlete who serves as a good example for others, to proving that academic and athletic success are not mutually exclusive. The Coaches Association believes that it's noteworthy that 207 female athletes from around the state have been honored this year for maintaining high academic standards in the classroom while competing in varsity golf. In fact, the average cumulative GPA for this year's honorees was a whopping 3.781. The GCAW was formed by the High School Coaches Association in 1986 to help build Wisconsin's reputation for developing quality junior players by promoting golf in the schools and communities. Besides honoring both boys and girls who succeed in as athletes, the association selects the annual All-Star team for boys and girls based on playing ability. On March 1st, 2012, a newly established award honoring high school team with the highest GPA was also begun. So it's certainly attending to those issues of both academics and athletics at the same time. Tipler Middle School a successful Veterans Day program. 43 veterans attended. In fact, there were invitations set and welcomes for quite a number, and a number came without having given advance notice. And I believe Jay Jones, principal, will be seeking a larger space. Handling it in the media center simply is not enough when you have that great a turnout for the Veterans Day. 95 family and friends were honored the service, were showered with appreciation with the evening music, reading, winning essay, poem, and for the veterans. A special thank you for honored guest Sergeant Major Matz, and a celebration included refreshments. And we're very grateful to J Manufacturing and the Golden Corral for sponsoring the event and providing refreshments. The November Art Gallery Walk, approximately 3,000 attended the celebration of K-12 art in the Oshkosh Area School District show at the Masonic Center during the November Gallery Walk in Oshkosh. Students were represented from every school in the Oshkosh Area School District. It was a wonderful opportunity to showcase and meet our emerging artists. South Park also had Veterans Day program on November 8th. 2013, South Park Middle School held their annual Veterans Day program. The program featured performances by the choir, orchestra, and band. 3 7th grade students were chosen to read the patriotic poems they had written. Ms. Ashley Radke spoke to the students about her experiences in the military. Guests were treated to a cookie social in the media center afterwards. Band teacher Emily Bauer and art teacher Erica Welbys organized the creation of 2 handprint flags. The 2 flags were made handprints from all students and staff at South Park and were hung in the gym for the program. Franklin students received the Frank Lion lesson. Margaret Castle, the artist who created the Benjamin Frank Lion, visited Franklin School on November 14th. She gave a brief presentation to the students in each grade level of the history of the Lion project. Students learned that the lion was created back in 2004 and was auctioned off to raise money to support the arts in the city. Margaret complimented the students at Franklin for keeping him in such good shape. Benjamin Frank Lion remained in perfect condition. The lion resides in the Franklin Media Center for students to enjoy. Wildcat Cafe provides job skills. If you've not had a chance at mid-morning to stop over at the Wildcat Cafe at West High School as an in-house transition internship for students at West High School. Students learn a variety of special job skills, including order taking, order preparation, cashiering, phone skills, and delivery. Students also learn a variety of general skills, such as the following schedule: being on time, teamwork, appropriate interactions with managers and coworkers, and working under stress, to just name a few. Besides seeing students build their repertoire of job skills, one of the most amazing outcomes of the Wildcat Cafe is the confidence that each student gains in himself or herself with the experience to provide students through the cafe. They feel confident, capable of entering the workforce in a larger Oshkosh community. It's a real joy to visit there and to have students serve you with a big smile on their face. Base class at Webster participates in cooking lessons. Wolfie from the Roxy joined students at face class at Webster to cook. He made around 6 different dishes for students to sample. One was included squid. Not that we're going to introduce that in our school lunch program, but this was something students might have never had a chance to try. South Park Middle School PBIS lock-in on Friday, November 8th. South Park Middle School students were surprised with a first quarter PBIS incentive. Students who had not received any major referrals during the first quarter were allowed to participate in a mini lock-in. Students who did receive majors were given a lesson on self-control and joined others towards the end of the event. Some activities students chose to include a pool party, game in the media center, watching a movie, or playing table tennis. It was noted that staff that students did a great job of demonstrating principles of PBIS during the lock-in. Oshkosh North students donated bowls. 32 bowls were created and donated by the Oshkosh North High School art students for the Empty Bowls event at Beckett's in Oshkosh on Sunday, November 10th from 4 to 7 p.m. The bowls donated were sold to raise money to support local food pantries. I'm going to now turn it over to Dave, who's going to tell a little bit about the wonderful event hosted here in the school district, the WTI conference.
Good evening. We're very pleased to add our own piece to the Superintendent's Good News Report. We do have a piece of good news to share. Last Friday and Saturday, the district was fortunate enough to be able to host the WTI Academic Forum. Just some key facts, as you may not know about what WTI is. The TOSA Foundation provides support for interactive whiteboard technology throughout the state. They usually offer grants to districts that have a positive track record of tech innovation. We've received over $300,000 to date in grants from this foundation. They've allowed us to equip Carl Traeger Elementary School, Carl Traeger Middle School, and West High School with interactive whiteboards. It's basically smart boards, student response systems, audio enhancement systems in the classroom, obviously LCD projectors that go along with that. So it's been a tremendous boost for those schools. We also received a grant of approximately $18,000 to provide the first telepresence system in the district. This is a newer technology that is being offered. We also added 2 more of our own, so now we have a telepresence set up at West, at North High, which would certainly allow them to share classes, consult, et cetera, as well as participate in virtual field trips. 400 participants came to Oshkosh for the conference, which was a record, on Friday, November 8th through Saturday, November 9th. Saturday is really the main day of the conference. We did use our new telepresence technology to bring in John Bergman. He's the author of The Flipped Classroom. He came in from his home, actually, and he was the keynote speaker, which was pretty amazing for us to actually test that technology out. This was Friday, November 8th. As you can see, there are several people from throughout the state of Wisconsin who are there. This is actually a telepresence conference being conducted by Telepresence. As you can possibly see in the back corner on the large screen, there are actually 3 different presenters there from around the United States who were, in a sense, participating in an interactive meeting with everyone at the session. So that was this is getting beyond, okay, now you have this stuff, how do you actually leverage it, and what have other districts done to leverage it in the classroom? So that was the focal point of this. On Saturday is when the main conference occurs, and that's John Bergman came in, who is the international speaker on this flipped classroom. As you can see, we had quite a few people there. We had about 400 people in the cafetorium, all hitting our internet at one time. And if you've ever been to a conference where that happens, the odds of that actually working aren't always high. But fortunately, our hats off to our technology services team. They did an amazing job. The conference attendees. This is the 3rd annual conference, and this one went very well and was also the busiest. So we were very impressed, and so were the other districts that had attended. Just to give you some shots, some pictures from around Traeger, you can see, you should be able to recognize most of those people because they're Oshkosh staff members presenting. There was also, you can see some more shots of Oshkosh staff members, but down in the lower right, they actually even had a technology fair in the Traeger Gymnasium, which was brought in a whole series of vendors in as well, so that was nice. Just to give you an idea of how many people had presented, we were not the only district presenting, but as you can see, we were certainly the most abundant district presenting. And that is all the more interesting given the fact that in 2010, we were unable to even apply for the grant because we didn't have the infrastructure in place to even support the technology had it been put in place. So it was just the one thing that was most remarkable to me is what a catalyst those grants had been for a lot of the changes that you as a board have enacted over the past several years. And we just couldn't be more happy with the fact that most of our staff were doing the presenting, given the fact we couldn't even apply for the grants 3 years ago. So that kudos to our staff. Just staff impressions. When you look at who organized all of this, well, Ann Risey and these three people here were largely the people who did all the heavy lifting with this. The only thing that the technology team did is we focused on the ones and zeros in the walls and making sure all the internet was working for the participants. But as far as all the other logistical details, Val did the lion's share of it, and the building principals did an amazing job as well. So I guess any impressions that you had of the day and the event?
It was really great to showcase Oshkosh. As you could see, all the presenters, most of them were from Oshkosh, and it really showed that we have great staff here and great support from all of you to be able to do that.
Well, and organizing was my first go-around for something like that, and it was really nice at the end to hear the people who run WTI, Mike Kerr, say that was to date their most organized and well-run conference, and that was really just from, like you see all the chairs and everything set up, it was just from people coming, rolling up their sleeves and getting it done. So it was a tremendous amount of teamwork. And Dave says the tech team just did, well, what the tech team did was unbelievable. It was so funny to watch them, all of a sudden something comes up and people are going to start getting on the internet. And we saw a little bit of sweat running, but there was never missed a beat, so it was fantastic.
Val and I have had the opportunity to go to the fall conferences for the last 2 years, and the first year we had just applied for the grant, and we went to the conference in Sun Prairie, and we were in awe of what they were able to do. It never occurred to us in 2 short years we would have the opportunity to host their largest conference ever. It's been such an honor to be a part of this professional development opportunity. The way it's run is it's not all sit and get. It's 15-20 minutes of presentation and then time for staff to get in and apply. And that application is so appreciated by everybody that attended. We had professional development on Monday after the conference, and the 3rd grade room that I was in was abuzz with the people who had been there and the things that they had learned, and emails and questions and trying to connect people when they heard something. And if you weren't there, you wanted to know more about it. So the conversations and the professional development are continuing as we speak.
What sort of, you're talking about attendees from our own district. Mm-hmm. Did you hear anything from attendees from other districts? Is there any information as to?
We had people from all over the state. From Crandon, we had a huge crew that came. From GCFRS, La Crosse, even from the University of Oshkosh. Madison, I think, sent some people. Also
Appleton
Milwaukee.
sent a pretty large team.
Yeah, and everybody was saying how great the conference was, and that they were amazed by all the technology we had at Traeger, and how everything just ran so smoothly, thanks to the tech team for doing that. And all the teachers gave up all their time. I think that's the biggest thing, was 400 teachers took a Saturday to drive to Oshkosh, and we got to showcase that and take their time out of the day to learn more.
And special thanks to the mortgages in WTI, because there was no cost for anybody to attend this. Breakfast was included, lunch was included, all the professional development was included, so it was just a fabulous day.
And what a demonstration of professionalism on the part of 400 educators to come on a Saturday. They did not receive any compensation for that or release time. They just came because they were interested in enhancing their own skill set. So, just sitting there looking at that whole group, I was very proud to be in the profession, to see that many people coming out on a Saturday to do that. So.
And it was great in the last 2 weeks to see our staff who attended applying their new learning in the classroom and being so excited about it.
So.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And I think we'll just skip. It's available and will be on print, the superintendent's calendar for the past 2 weeks, and I will turn it back over to our board president.
All right. Having attended the last listening session, I guess I will go on to other reports. Are there any items? Yes.
Education Committee met on Thursday, November 14th. It was a full agenda and a lively discussion. We focused pretty much the whole hour on the 4K program. And received an update on that program and how well it's actually doing and growing, and the resources that it is needing to be able to move forward successfully. And so that took up most of our time together. And I trust we're going to be hearing more about that pretty soon. And then Julie updated us on the Human Growth and Development curriculum for 5th grade. They're looking at a new video that's a little bit more current, not from the 70s. I can only imagine those 5th graders' comments when they watch that film, as I have one of those at home in my house.
A 5th grader or the video? 5th grader.
Good question.
One of those.
Yeah, that's a fun video to review every now and then. I can feel myself blushing. So, yes, they are updating that video. Woo! That's all I have.
All right. Thank you. Other reports? Steve?
Policy and governance met, and there are a number of things on our agenda this evening in relationship to that. Policy 411.1 was requested by WASB for an update. It deals with student harassment and bullying. The committee recommended that moving this for the board approval. 345 standardized testing. We reviewed that. There were some updates made to it, and we recommend a vote for that at tonight's meeting. 860 visitors of the school district. This was updated. WASB was contacted, and a sample policy language was provided. There was a rule written with it as well. We are recommending that be approved at tonight's meeting. 611 general fund balance policy was something that I suggested we look to revamp. Currently, our percentages are at 10 to 12, and it's being suggested to move that from 12 to 15% of our overall working capital general fund balance. The committee recommended that be moved for a vote this evening as well. We had a discussion as well on special needs vouchers. We'll be bringing this back in the future, and we just wanted to have a discussion on it. There's some things out there with a group who have been meeting with Dr. Evers from the DPI. Right now, if you're outside of the district and you want to come in with a special needs child, the district, if they want to claim a financial hardship, like if a child coming in is going to cost $200,000 or something, or else we would have to, we don't have the equipment or something to deal with it, we can provide them with a report and then show them that we don't really have that it's going to be a financial hardship for the district. But within the districts themselves, no such report is being generated. Like if you want to have your child's over at Emmeline Cook and they want to move to Roosevelt or something, open and enroll over there, that is not currently the case. So we started talking about things like that, and about the accountability factor with the special needs vouchers, that the kids, when they go into these, they use these vouchers, give up their federal rights under the IDEA program. So anyway, this will be brought back at the next P&G meeting, and possibly a resolution created generating our support for what it is that DPI is trying to do with something like this.
And so the one that you're generating would be for policy within the district moving from school to school?
Well, mostly what we're looking for with this outside group is dealing with, they contacted Evers, and this group met with a bunch of WASB people, a bunch of administrative association people, and what Dr. Evers is looking for is he's looking for support from school boards on something like this if they're going to move this forward on the state level. He wants to gauge, would school boards be supportive of something like this? And I think that for us as a school board, at the 10th largest school district in the state, if we reviewed this and got on, no pun intended, board with this, we should become more politically active on these things, because right now, the way things are, we react what happens in Madison over and over again, and this way we would be, it's a non-binding resolution, but if we craft this correctly, and we don't know if we're going to do this, we need to get more information on it first. But if we do craft a resolution in support of something like this, it would just show that we're getting involved more politically.
All right. Thank you. Other reports? All right, seeing none, we all received the food service annual report, and if you have questions, you can feel free to obviously contact Stan or myself, or certainly Peggy West, I'm sure would be willing to answer questions about it. I did notice on there that she, last year, I guess, had a negative balance, so hopefully we will see that become steady this year. Non-agenda public forum. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak on a non-agenda related topic? No, seeing none. Agenda-related public forum. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak on an agenda-related topic? Topic on tonight's agenda? All right. Next, I will go to the consent resolution agenda. For the consent agenda, the board has been furnished with background material on each item or has discussed it at a previous meeting. These will be acted upon with one vote without discussion. If any board member wants to discuss any item, it will be pulled out of the consent agenda and will be voted on separately. Does anyone have anything that they wish to pull from tonight's agenda? Barb?
8B, please. I'm sorry, 8A. Sorry, 8A.
Anything else? All right. Then could I get a motion for the board to consider the approval of minutes of special board meeting, executive session on October 15th, 2013. Number 2, minutes of special board meeting, executive session October 17th, 2013. Number 3, minutes of regular board meeting on October 23rd, 2013. Number 4, minutes of special board meeting, executive session on November 4th, 2013. Number 5, minutes of regular board meeting on November 6th, 2013. Number 6, minutes of regular board meeting, executive session on November 6, 2013. Number 7, bills payable. Number 8, personnel. B, temporary appointment of an administrator. Number 9, adoption of grade 5 human growth and development curriculum and materials. Number 10, revision of Rule 223.1, administrator compensation and benefits. Number 11, revisions to Policy 411.1, sexual harassment of students, and Policy 411.2, student harassment and/or bullying. Number 12, revisions to Policy 345, standardized testing, and Policy 347, group standardized testing. Number 13, revisions to Policy 860, visitors to the school district. And number 14, revisions to Policy 611, general fund balance.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Garner.
Aye.
Garner, I. Herzog.
Aye.
Herzog, I. Lumberger.
Aye.
Lumberger, I. Saganett.
Aye.
Saganett, I. Wiedenhoff.
Aye.
Wiedenhoff, I. Vito.
Aye.
Vito, I. Eliason.
Aye.
Eliason, I. Motion carried.
All right, number 8A, be it resolved that the Oshkosh Area School District Board of Education approve the appointments, temporary appointments, resignations, retirements, salary schedule, and as filed with the Secretary to the Board of Education.
So moved.
Do I have to read the individual appointments? Okay.
Second.
Discussion, Barb?
I just had a couple of questions and a accolade. I think it was just a month ago that this board approved the appointment of a 612 district-wide literacy coordinator, and I see that that appointment is here tonight before us. I was just wondering, so I'm pleased that there's fast turnaround to get this in place so that this person can have an impact on both teacher learning and student learning. My question is this an internal or external appointment? External, okay. So there was no one who was displaced from a teaching position? Okay, that was my only question. Thank you.
Other comments? Please call the roll.
Herzog.
Aye.
Herzog, I. Lumberger.
Aye.
Lumberger, I. Saganett.
Aye.
Saganett, I. Wiedenhoff.
Aye.
Wiedenhoff, I. Vito.
Aye.
Vito, I. Eliason.
Aye.
Eliason, I. Garner.
Aye.
Garner, I. Motion carried.
All right, individually considered resolutions. Request for future agenda items. Does anyone have anything that they wish to add for future agenda? Well, seeing none. Announcements? Again, seeing none. Adjourn to executive session. Could I get a motion to adjourn to executive session for the purposes of deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever and wherever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session under 19.851E, A, Oshkosh Education Association, OEA, negotiation strategies, and B, Oshkosh Paraprofessional Education Association, OPEA, negotiation strategies.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
Lumberger,
Aye.
Lumberger, I, Saginaw.
Aye.
Saginaw, I, Wiedenhoff.
Aye.
Wiedenhoff, I, Vito.
Aye.
Vito, I, Eliason.
Aye.
Eliason, I, Garner.
Aye.
Garner, I, Herzog.
Aye.
Herzog, I, motion carried.
All right, at 6:30, we are adjourned to executive session.
Awesome.